football, you have a chance to win. And boy, do we have guys who can do that in this one. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Tigers offense will have the ball first. And David, this offense is built around keeping it on the ground and feeding the beast at running back.
Yeah, and he is a grown ace man. That dude, it starts and ends with him. Jesse, how nice is it to have a running back that you can turn, hand the ball to? He's going to get positive chunks. Defenses fear him. That's a really nice place to start on offense.
And it doesn't matter how many guys they have in the box, right? Every single week, defense is key on stopping this guy, and none of them can do it. He is so dynamic, a true game changer for this offense.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Wants to go up top. Fires to the middle. He's got it. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense.
How great is it to have a running back who can basically run your entire route tree? You don't see a lot of guys line up and then run vertically down the field, get open, and make a big play. This dude is special.
The offense setting up shop at the 46, 1st and 10. Grab behind the line. It's Coleman. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
How nice is it in this offense to have your best receiver playing in the slot? You're matching him up against linebackers, against safeties, or nickel corners. Nickel corners are oftentimes the defense's 3rd best cornerback. This guy is virtually uncoverable.
Now the play fake. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Hardy. They'll stop him at the 41, but he's got 10 yards, and they'll move the chains.
Man, a great job by the QB, finding the running back, getting the football where he can do some damage after the catch, and most importantly, get the first down.
Missouri really moving on offense, set up with another first down. Looking to throw again. Caught over the middle. It's Coleman. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
Going to swing it on second down. Throws to the wideout. Got his man downfield. They finally get to him. What a play there to pick up the first down.
We knew this offense wanted to come out here and let it rip through the air. This QB is in a beautiful rhythm early. Nice job with his footwork and his eyes, and he completes a big one there. Get this offense humming.
And that big gainer on the last one has them ready to go from inside the 10. The snap sets up to throw. Trying to find the end zone. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Tigers.
And this QB's starting to do some work, man. The big explosive play in the passing game. You get inside the 10, you're thinking run. Everybody thinking run. You back it up with another pass, another great throw, and quickly this offense gets right to the end zone.
Getting set for the extra point after putting the scoreboard to work for the first time. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. So a drive there of 84 yards, and they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll start the return inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. So the Mississippi State Bulldogs offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. We have we've got a tremendous matchup between these two running backs, both stars in their own right, and David, both ready to make a huge impact.
I mean, how fun is it to have two guys, one on each side, when they have the football, like they can go the distance. Just dynamic speed, great vision. These defenses are in trouble because these guys can touch it a bunch of different ways, and Palmer, they can hit home runs from anywhere on the field.
And I think what makes them really unique too, David, is that they're very versatile guys. Both guys can run between the tackle box. They can take it outside. They can both catch the football as well. So no doubt the game plan for both offenses, feed the running back as many different ways as possible and just let him go to work.
Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
Scanning the field, it's Shapen. Quickly to the tight end. He's going to have enough to pick up the first down as they stop him at the 33-yard line.
Well, after watching the other offense go down the field and score a touchdown, you know this guy's trying to lead his offense to do the exact same thing. That was a big third down. I know there's a lot of football left to play, but you're trying to establish confidence as early as possible. That last throw is really going to help out your team.
Looking to throw on first down. Makes the grab. It's Thompson. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains.
I like the QB here. Very decisive, understanding I get the ball to my slot guy, he can make plays after it. Like the quickness, the speed, the elusiveness. You watch it, man, just he catches the football and a big play can happen. And you saw after the catch, man, he's got some wheels.
The give to the right. What a job up front, and he'll lose a yard on that one. That's it for the period, and Missouri has the lead. We've put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Lots of time left, and we're ready to get back to it and open the second period. And the Bulldogs with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Trying play action. Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41.
Play-action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, a check down would be the last resort. Quickly out to the tight end. He is not going to get there. Stopped short of the line to gain, and it'll be fourth down. So he was forced to just take what the defense gave him, and they were able to stop him short of the first down.
And when you're a defense and you get third and long and you know exactly where those sticks are, you set your feet at them, they throw it underneath, I go rally, make the tackle. Perfect third down and long execution by this defense.
He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake on first down to throw. And the Heat gets there, and they get him down at the 14-yard line.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and then can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play-action attempt.
The Tigers now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Off the play fake. Looking deep. He's got it on the outside. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
After that last big gainer, they'll put it in play. 1st and 10 from their own 49. Running into the open space. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
Lost to fire on 2nd down. Snagged in the middle, H. Coleman. They ripped off a big one, and they get it down to the 27.
All right, 2nd quarter, getting closer to the half. Offense is still having a lot of success stringing some 1st downs together. Defense is going to need to figure something out before they get to halftime.
Missouri comes to the line with another 1st down. Give to the running back. Brings into the open. He's brought down just running hard in the red zone, and he'll be just a few inches short.
And that would be the definition of 1st down success, putting yourself in a good position. It's 2nd and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like, nice 1st down execution.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout. We've got a tight one, and they'll try to build on the lead before going to the locker room. And the Tigers come to the line. This situation, you might see a shot play. Caught in the backfield. It's Johnson. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
This defense has got to be better in coverage. You want to get off the field, you got to keep defending. You got to do something to make the offense feel uncomfortable. So far, way too easy for this offense.
The Tigers kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Leaves it with the running back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And how about that young man getting in the backfield again? He's really got his fingerprints all over this game so far to start it, man. We're still in the 1st half, and he's got a sack. He's got a tackle for a loss. These are the kind of plays that really help your defense push these offenses behind the sticks.
2nd down, he'll throw it. Setting up the screen. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the 1st down. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half. Missouri comes up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Tigers!
Man, that's the way you execute on offense, man. You keep your foot on the gas, try to make this a 2-score game. You do with that touchdown. This offense executing beautifully. The defense is going to have to find something in the 2nd half to get some stops.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the 1st half. Makes the catch. It's Mosley. Brought down at the 31. It is a 1st down. The offense calls timeout. It's the 2nd one they've used this half. It's 1st and 10 from the 31. The run from the shotgun. You'll take 4 yards on 1st down every time, 2nd and 6.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20-yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
It's caught. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
Mississippi State to the line with a fresh set of downs. Dropping back, it's Shapen. Fires to the wideout. The pass falls incomplete, and there are 8 seconds left.
And that's one the offense just needs to be able to hit, right? That's a completion they should be able to hit in their sleep. Receivers got to do a better job.
Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking downfield, and time is running short. Got it in the middle. It's Mosley. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play.
Timeout, Mississippi State.
Waning seconds of the first half, and they'll try to tack on a 3 before they head to the locker room. The kicker will reach for a 36-yard attempt. Right down the boulevard. Now the lead is down to 11. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Gentlemen, what else is new? A spirited environment there in Columbia. And there's no more fitting place to begin than with this stud receiver and how he's dominated the first half. Some guys have the ability to elude and evade. This young man is a true 3-level threat. Short passes, the intermediate game, and then the deep ball, he is a problem. And I don't think this defense has the solution. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at Memorial Stadium.
Missouri will kick it off to open this second half. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. He'll start this third quarter with a run. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's a negative play trying to run the football, and I think if you're on offense, you got to be thinking about throwing it now. You're trailing by a lot. You got to get back in this game. You need tempo, and you need explosive plays through the air.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Under fire. They'll run the screen. And it'll be a pickup of 9. They're facing a 3rd and 1.
Love the execution there on the screen. The running back shows pass protect, last second turns around, so he's able to get the ball. The D linemen have already run past him. Now he can turn upfield for a big gainer.
If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step into a 3rd down conversion and then try to turn it into some scores, and fast. He'll have enough to give Mississippi State a first down.
I just love it when my quarterback knows situational football. They run the option. He understands. It's 4th and short. Like, I got to stick my nose in there, get north-south, and try to get that first down. I love when I have a quarterback that can do that.
With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. They go to the ground. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. They'll try the run. Not much he could do there. Does pick up 2 to the 34. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Wants to throw. It's Shapen. Fires it. And they can't make the connection on third down.
And you thought maybe in the second half this offense could just find a rhythm, find something to take advantage of this defense, but the defense has really had their number, not putting up a lot of points, and again, an empty possession right there.
So Mississippi State will have to punt this one away. He looks it in and makes the fair catch, and they'll have it at the 32. Decent field position to start this drive from their own 33. Wants to throw on first down. Plows through the defense. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Well, it's important in this game this offense gets the running back involved out on the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. There he goes. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
Definitely been tough sledding for this guy, especially in the first half. They gave him the ball a bunch, but they just don't have a ton of yards on the ground to show for it at this point. That looked like a pretty good run, though. You just wonder maybe in the second half, if they keep giving him the football, it may start paying some dividends.
Off play action on first down. Here's the pressure. He'll pull it down and run. And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
It's a curious play call offensively to try to throw after that great gain on the ground the snap before. If you're winning in the trenches up front, keep it going. Let the big fellas go to work. I don't like the idea of throwing the ball there.
They gave up the sack on first down. Now it's 2nd and 11. Motion from the wideout. The play action fake. Got it behind the line. It's Johnson. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
I know a lot of people are going to look at that play and say, man, that was a bad play. Didn't gain any yards. But that could be the offense maybe setting something up. The play caller is going to remember that last play. He's going to remember how the defense reacted to it, made a quick tackle. They might pump that throw and then hit another player vertically down the field for an explosive play.
It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. The return never really got started, but boy, he has set his team up at the 28. That was not a great throw. Might even call it ungood. Tried to put some air under it and just made it too easy.
I don't think the quarterback had a lot of confidence in where he was going with that football, Reese. I mean, that's a ball that needed to get there so much sooner. You got to put a little bit more mustard on that throw, and just lobbing the ball down the field like that, I don't know. You're asking for an interception.
Back to pass, it's Shapen. Fires to the big fella. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
Important in the passing game that it's not just receivers doing all the work. You got to get running backs involved. You got to get your big fellas. You got to get the tight ends going too.
Picked up some yardage with that completion, now 2nd down. Looking to fire. Got the quick pass. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
Picks up 7. And first down for the offense.
That's the end of the quarter, and Missouri has the lead. 3 quarters are in the books. Time becomes a factor both in trying to hold the lead or cut into it as we take a look at the stats. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. To the air on first down. Trying to burn this defensive back. He's got it inside the 25. The stop is made, but this offense is threatening 1st and goal from the 9.
At the 9-yard line.
And man, he had nobody around him. That has got to be embarrassing for this defense. When you let someone that deep downfield go completely uncovered.
Now on 1st and goal, let's see what Mississippi State does. They'll try to get it in with the run. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. To the air, it's Shapen. Under fire. Good job to toss that ball out of bounds and avoid the loss.
That's a heads-up decision by the quarterback there. You want to throw a touchdown, but if it's not there, just throw it away, and now we got 3rd.
They desperately need to get the score here on 3rd and goal to have any kind of wild chance. From the gun, wants to pass. Wide out trying to get it in. And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt.
And with that stop by this defense, now I think it's interesting because obviously the scoreboard, multiple possessions, what I need to accomplish. Do you kick it now because it's a long yardage 4th down situation, or do you say, nope, I'm going for the touchdown?
Now on 4th down, they'll send out the field goal unit. Field goal is good. That'll make it a 1-possession game. The lead is 8.
Missouri, 14. Mississippi State, 6.
After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away. On the run from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. They'll start this drive from the 18-yard line. The give and tick, 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 tick. Didn't find a lot of room. Let's give him 2 out to the 20.
Well, the offense has the lead, and we call this 4-minute offense. This is a situation that teams around the country practice, having to lead late in the game and needing to ice it by running the football and throwing high-percentage passes.
Clock continues to run, and they'll be happy to wind it all the way down before they snap it. Pulls it in. It's Coleman. He'll work his way up to the 24-yard line before being shoved out of bounds.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
And the defense was all over it. They know 3rd down, the quarterback can be a viable threat in the run game. Played physical, played close to the line of scrimmage, made the big stop.
So Missouri will have to punt it away. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Fields the punt and tries to find an opening. Little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. Good field position to start this drive at their own 47. Looking for a man. It's Shapen. Oh, they're after him. And they can't make the connection, and it could get worse. A penalty flag on the field, and it's in the holding zone. Let's get the call. Holding penalties, the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. They'll run it from the gun. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And these linebackers, man, the reason they're winning this football game is they've been swarming. You watch them. They're downhill, not missing many tackles. They've really dominated the run game, and that's why they're winning this football game.
The Bulldogs trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Using the back as a receiver on the screen. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down. They've got the ball at midfield, but they're facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires downfield. Got it in the middle, it's Mosley. Just what they'd hoped for on 3rd down as they've got a first at the 32. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Mississippi State comes out after picking up the 1st down. They'll run it from the gun. And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
And you're seeing on both sides really hard to run the football in this one. You've got to give both of these defenses tons of credit. They are so physical up front. These defensive lines can take the game over, and right now, it's tough sledding on the ground.
To the air, it's Shapen. Makes the catch, it's Williams. The offense gets a quick timeout at this point. Every second is precious. And the Bulldogs come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. In the gun, looking to throw on 3rd down. Caught close to the marker, it's Thompson. That will be enough to move the chains and give them a 1st down in the red zone at the 14.
You run the slant route day one, and this is something that the quarterback and the wide receiver has done 100 million times out there on the field in the offseason. I see man-to-man coverage. I know I can run the slant. Boom, stick my foot in the ground, throw it, completion to my wide receiver.
He's got it. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in. We've got a timeout on the field, a tight game in the 4th, and the Brain Trust will go to work. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. Trying to set up the screen. And he will score! Touchdown, Mississippi State!
Man, I tell you what, great job by this offense, great execution. You drive down the field, you get the score. Now what's your 2-point play? You practiced it all week. What's your go-to in this moment late in the 4th quarter when you need the 2-point conversion?
They'll try to get the 2, knot this thing up, and maybe push us into overtime. Keeps it on the draw. He's not going to make it in as this defense comes up with the stop on the 2-point conversion to hold on to their lead. 1 minute left to play, plenty of time if they can recover this onside kick.
And this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time. When you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.